Hi, my name is Emma Gamble, and I'm going to be presenting on the educational thinker William McGuffey. Now, he lived between 1800 and 1873, and he was widely influential on public education as we see it in America today. Now, he built his educational ideas on neoconservatism. This is the idea that democracy depends on educated and virtuous citizens. This is an idea that comes from the American Revolution, the idea that in order to have a republic, you need to have citizens who are educated so that they can participate in democracy. And he believed that the way to do this was through the common school because it creates a common American identity. He created his readers as a result of that idea because he saw that the common schools needed better textbooks. So he created readers that pulled from great books, that pulled from moral stories, and he used them to teach children all over America how to read, children from all different kinds of backgrounds. It spread literacy and it standardized the English language. And as a whole, his common school movement played a huge role in developing free public education in America. Now, his readers contained very heavy morals, and this is a result of his belief in moralistic education. He believed that morals were the basic to success in life, and as a result, he would teach them alongside this intellectual development that he had in his readers. He had this incredible ability to teach both of them at the same time. So while children were learning to read, they were also learning to comprehend and learn about all of these morals. And that's kind of leading into his Christian belief, his Protestant Christian belief specifically, and that goes into his third ideology of non-sectarianism. While he was a strong Christian, he believed that public schools can draw from religion without promoting any particular perspective. This is kind of going off of John Locke's idea that religion and education should not go together. And he specifically wanted his readers to be accessible to everyone. And so he didn't convert readers to Christianity, but instead emphasized the golden rule, the idea that you should treat others the way that you want to be treated. And as a result of this, his readers shaped moral values in the 19th century, and this philosophy of non-sectarianism, it added to the conversation about the relationship between education and religion that was happening at this time, especially as a result of Darwin's Origin of the Species that was published in 1859, that kind of created a conversation between what does education and religion look like together, specifically science and religion. What do they look like in education? This kind of leads to my critique for him. While he did believe in non-sectarianism, his readers were very heavily Christian, specifically Protestant Christian, to the point that Roman Catholics that were coming in as immigrants were reading it and fearing for their children's faith. And I personally believe that if you are going to promote something as non-sectarianism, as non-partisan in the way of religion, you should not be so biased and so Protestant in your writing, right? An author can't truly be unbiased in their writing, but it shouldn't be so biased that Roman Catholics can read it and feel very strongly influenced by it. I think that it should be totally unbiased. If it's going to be totally unbiased, I think that there's a way to communicate objective morals without putting too much Christianity into it, because I think that ultimately the morals that are objective and are objective truth are coming from the Bible, because that's the way that God created us to be. And I ultimately think that it's the teacher's job rather than the curriculum's job to communicate these morals to their students. Horace Mann is a critic who didn't think that the readers were appropriate for the students. Other people have critiqued that it doesn't address the injustice of slavery, and it contains some pretty offensive references to others. I think it is important to recognize the historical context here in which McGuffey is working from. And also think about the large impact that these readers have made, and the fact that they have been revised over time to align historically and correctly with others. So yeah, that is just a summary of what I have learned from William McGuffey and his educational ideas.